Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our after work. Welcome to Strive Community. Stories and wine in the spirit of storytelling. For you who have not met us before, Strive is a storytelling community, and my name is Jessica, and I am a community manager and a team leader for Strive. And I've got some beautiful ladies with me in the room today.
Thank you.
Lucy, please go ahead you first and just introduce yourself, who you are, and where you're broadcasting from, maybe.
Yes, Lucy Larsson, part of Strive as well. And I am sitting from Halmstad, closer to Copenhagen, in the south of Sweden. And yes, I am very glad to be here with these beautiful ladies. And it's a Friday evening. Nice to be here. All right, continue.
All right, continue. Thank you, Larsson, Mrs. Larsson. And then we've got Suzanne from another part of this not country. Please, Suzanne, tell me where you're coming from.
I am based in Scandinavia, in Finland, actually. It's a small island between Finland and Sweden called Åland Islands. So I'm in another country, but it's a Scandinavian country. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And for me, it's basically Åland is like Sweden. It's just, it's no different. So it's really strange that Åland is actually part of Finland. It doesn't really make sense, but that's how it is. They've decided that's how it is, isn't it?
Exactly.
So you're also a part of our community, is that right?
Yes, I'm also a part of this beautiful community, Strive, and guides together with you. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. It is amazing. Josephine, so where are you from?
I am from Sweden, from Västerås.
Yeah.
I am. And I'm also a part of Strive. Awesome place to be. I really love it. And I'm a guide here at Strive Community.
Yeah.
And a passionate guide. I'm really on the right place.
With right people. The right time.
Huh?
The right place, the right time with the right people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. So what we're doing here at Strive is that in this sort of our after work session on Fridays is that we want to share our experiences about life, leadership, culture, personal development, and other exciting topics. So we would like you to sort of hang out with us and listen, and maybe just sort of celebrate the end of the week and the beginning of the weekend with a school or cheers. Lucy, how do we say in Samoa? Samoa. What do you say then?
We say manuia.
Manuia.
Yeah.
Yes, well done.
Oh, thank you. School, cheers, and welcome. So Strive then is a platform and a community for self-development. And what we want to do here is to by sharing our stories and experiences, we want to lead the way and inspire others to share their stories and take their next steps in their lives. And tonight we have a specific topic that we decided we want to sort of talk about and elaborate a bit around, and that is about personal transformation and programming.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about transformation, I think that's not such a big thing or a strange thing for people. It is when you actually do some sort of major change in your appearance or your life or your circumstances. But what does that really mean? And is it really easy to transform your life? And how do you really transform your life? And that's one thing we're going to talk about. And that brings us to the other topic, which is programming. And we all know about the computer programs and how we program. Computers basically. We download our programs and everything. But I think that we want to talk about a different type of programming, and that's how we all are programmed from an early age in our lives. And I don't know if everyone is aware of that we actually do, we run on a program. And the question is, what programs have we all downloaded, and do we actually run our own programs, or who is running our life, really? So that is the topic for tonight. So Lucy, would you like to sort of, when we talk about transformation, because you've done a really big transformation, moving from the beautiful tropical islands of Samoa to windy Halmstad, which has a totally different, you're close to the water, but it's a different climate. Would that move for you, that shift from one part of the world to the other, was that a big personal transformation for you? Or, because obviously it was a transformation in your life circumstances.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. Well, I don't really see it as a transformation. It's my moving here. It was a conscious decision to move here, and for me, it's a changing in lifestyle, which is, although it is dramatic, when we talk about transformation, is a dramatic change, but I did not really feel that it was a transformation for me. It was moving and choosing a life somewhere else, and it was more from a point of view and perspective of being curious to discover. When you're young, you're open up for so many things, you're curious, and then you spread your wings, you fly. You don't really think about the consequences and the risk, you just go. But the transformation for me personally, it's when I live here in Sweden, when I established myself, and then all these aspects of culture, language, tradition, it all starts to play their roles. And when these factors around me play their roles, it really affects my personality, self-confidence, and then it triggers that programming that we are talking about. So the transformation is this programming, the changes of this programming that changes from the Samoan way of raising the child, me, to listen and obey and follow the rules. Don't say anything. Don't answer back to your elders. Otherwise, you get a slap on the face. So all things plays in. So it is the transformation for me is the personal journey, like you said, the personal transformation, and how I work with the mindset, for example. Like marrying in Samoa, it's a different aspect. You live, you are accountable for your family, your village, and your church. And here in Sweden, it's another context. It's how you see the Swedish society, how you are accountable for yourself and your closest family. So I'll stop there.
Yeah, thank you. That, because I think for a lot of people, maybe that when we talk about a true transformation, maybe the shift from one country to another would be a huge transformation, or just moving and just, I mean, just really making a big change in your outer circumstances. But what you're really saying, Lucy, as I hear you, is that it's an inner journey. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe it's a personal.
Yeah.
It's how you perceive it in a personal way. Like a transformation for me in a personal way, it's more of an inner journey. It's not so much of the physical journey. So moving is, it involves a lot of the inner as well. But I can, for example, when the first few years of my living in Sweden, I was still more intact with my culture, my way of thinking as a Samoan. And so slowly, when you are influenced by the environment you're living in, then that's where the transformation and all plays in. Your role in society, the work you do, your beliefs and everything, the food you eat and how you see everything started to shake all the cores of your soul, and then the transformation starts to trigger. Yeah. But I
That's
believe,
great.
Jessica, you have a point. Some people they experience moving physically as a transformation.
Yeah, and that's really what I was sort of really getting to, that it's a different, that we can look at transformation in a different way. So if I ask you, Sophie, what would transformation mean to you? What's that personal transformation?
It also means within journey. Transformation for me means to grow, to know that I want to grow and I need to grow, and to take action and really do that. And ask myself, what do I need? What kind of people do I need around me? Do I need a mental trainer? Do I need to train more, like by my own? What do I need to transform myself? And for me, I have been working a lot with reprogramming.
Yeah.
About myself. Yeah. You're talking about programming, and in different ways I've been hearing around me what I am. I don't handle your energy, you're too sensitive, and so on. And in the end, I am too much. I am to that level that I realized I am not these things.
Yeah.
So now I need to reprogramming. So I've been going for a few educations. I have my beautiful, strong mental trainer, and every day actually it's one of my tools. Everyday tools that I program my day and program myself. What do I want today? What results is today? What am I gonna feel? What am I gonna see? What am I gonna hear?
Yeah.
So personal development, transforming, it's a big question, and I'm working a lot of it.
It is a big question, no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I've been working for years with myself, and open up for my energy channels, because I talk about channels, and some people talk about a higher you, or God, or but I really have been working on that, and open up on a next level the last half a year, and that's a big step in on my journey, and I really am happy for that, and also ready for that, because I think what you ask for and work for, very focused, you reach that. So yeah, that's few words from me right now.
Yeah, thank you. And I just thank you. It's because you touch both transformation and program. And one thing I think was just really interesting, what you said, that you've been told a lot of things, that you are certain things. And that was someone else's program that you actually downloaded because you believed that for quite some time. Is that?
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So then I would like to ask Susanne, because I know that this is one of your specialties and expertise areas, this with programming and Do you want to just talk a bit about that, how that works with programming and obviously transformation as well? But
Absolutely, because the topic is kind of our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is running our life. And it's how we learn to master our subconscious mind and take control over ourselves, as Josephine said, to program ourselves and not believe in words from other people. So if you want to master yourself, you need to master your subconscious mind, because there is where the program is running. So to reprogram your subconscious mind is to find out what do you desire in life, and what is the key. It's actually to find out your life purpose. And I'm a coach of the subconscious mind, and sometimes we know, we think we know what we want to run for program, what program we want to run, but actually we are running unconsciously, that we are not aware of what we are running. And so if we want to take control over our programs, we need to know that our brain is organized by reflecting of past things, actually memories. Our brain is a record of the past, and the feelings and the emotions is the end product of past experiences.
Yeah.
So if we can remembering experiences better, it because we remember how they feel. So most people wake up in the morning and start remembering all their problems. And the problems are connected to certain people and certain things, certain time and places. So the moment we start thinking about those problems, we are thinking of the past.
Yeah.
So those problems have an emotion associated with them. So the moment they start, or we start to feel those emotions, the body unconsciously start to reacting. And the difference between an experience that we are in right now or an emotion we are remembering, the brain can't distinguish.
Yeah.
So that's why only by thought alone we can reacting. Only thinking of something we can react. So that's why we can change that by visualize our future, because it's science that the body and the brain is connected, and we can't distinguish of a memory and the future. So that's why we need to visualize how we want to live, what we want to feel, who we want to be with, where we want to be, what we want to do, and so on and so on and so on. And actually, the things we are remembering is only 50% the truth.
Yeah. Because
So
it's all distorted.
exactly. So we have a choice. We have a choice. The choice are to either defined by a vision of the future or memories of the past.
Yeah.
So if you are going to wake up, you can start to say to yourself, I want to do some aerobics. I want to wake up earlier. I don't want to eat sugar. I want to change. Then our body says, no, 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 this is unfamiliar. I don't want to do this, because we are programmed in a certain way. It's going to feel uncomfortable. So in that moment, we have to make a choice. Can we reprogram? And that's the thing, to transform, to reprogram. It's to make a decision.
Yeah.
A conscious decision, because our body wants to go to the old programming, and then we need to start to change our things we do, say, to ourselves, to others. So we can do that, and we can do that consciously. And consciously is to say to ourselves, I still do this despite it's uncomfortable, because I want to reprogram. So that's the way of reprogramming, to lead yourself, self-leadership actually. to a new behavior. And actually it's not going to feel right in the beginning, and subconscious mind going to say to you, no, I don't want to do it. I will start tomorrow. I can eat this because I will start tomorrow. So that's a program we are running. So we need to be aware of it. And then when we are aware of it, we can go from the unknown to the known. So my suggestion is to close your eyes and think about your vision and think about what you want, because that is actually a new pattern.
Oh, sorry. I managed to hit something here. Can you please repeat that, Suzanne? I don't know what I did. So I muted everyone.
I just said that if you want to change, just close your eyes and think about your vision. And once you start thinking about, you activate and create a center in your brain.
Mhm.
And you begin to think about putting yourself in that scene. And when you do that, you are truly passionate about it and you are in the present moment. So if you want to create a new feeling, a new state, you will have a new personality, and that will be your new personal reality.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Suzanne. I was just wanting to go back to that, because what you're really saying, and that's why we pair these two topics, personal transformation and program, because if you're programmed, if you're hardwired and programmed, and you're unaware of that, you're going to have difficulties in actually changing your life the way you want it. Transformation is basically not possible because you have your program, you've got your story, you run on that. So that's one thing that I don't know if a lot of people know, that they say that the first 7 years of our lives, that's when the program we download our parents, our society, our culture's program, and that's going to be what's following us in our lives, and going to make it hard for us to work. Because that's what you say, Suzanne, that we do something that's unfamiliar, that we do not recognize. It's hard for us. But even if we've have been abused as a child, that is familiar. So that could go into abusive relationship, could be familiar and actually cause some sort of security. And it's easy to be in that, even though it's really painful and hard. Is that because that's really what happens, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, here we got a boy that wants to join. Hi.
Good night. I love you. You do.
So I know that Josephine wants to say something. Can I just ask Lucy about one thing? We've got a someone in the chat talking about that he loves Samoan songs and love to eat Samoan food. Do you have any response to that?
Lovely. Lucy?
Yes, okay, I'm muting. Hi, Julieta. Thank you so much for joining us. Great to know that you love Samoan food and you love eating Samoan food. Yes, I am Samoan and I'm sending live from Sweden with my very good friends here. So yeah, I hope you have some Samoan food tonight. I don't have any, so I would love to have some.
Yeah, and that makes me so curious, Lucy. What is Samoan food? Can you give us an example of what that would be?
Yes, we have this dish. It's called daoka. It's with the raw tuna fish with coconut milk, cucumber, tomatoes, and some celery and chili and salt and lime. And then you eat it with wine as entree, or you eat it as one of the small dishes in the main meal. So I love that. And we eat a lot of fish, and a lot of green bananas, and what we call the taro. It's a root fruit that it's similar to potatoes.
Yeah.
Lovely. I look forward to see you in real life and have a live and eating together too.
Yes, that we can do.
Yeah, maybe next time or another time you invite us for some Samoan food and we bring the drinks
Exactly.
and we get all the recipes out to our audience and the listeners, and they get to cook themselves so we can enjoy a meal together. That would be cool.
Absolutely. And I will hire some people to do it because I don't cook. I'm kidding.
Why don't
we have all different
Don't
skills.
worry, I'm kidding. It's part of the transformation. Huh? So cheers.
It's part of the transformation. Yeah, that's beautiful. Cheers for that.
Cheers.
So, Yusufi, I know that you've got an experience about being coached by Suzanne with
The unconscious
the
mind.
unconscious mind.
Yeah.
You want to
And
share that?
I want to share with you my experience.
Yeah.
We had a working day, I thought. This was for 1 year ago, I believe. And I was on my passion mood, energy. I had a lot on the list. And that power woman and that keys she went in my and talked to me and started to coach me because I wasn't there. I was in another level, and she felt that. So in the beginning, I understood how strong this was. I need to go into this. I need to let go of all the control, all what I know, what I need, everything. So she was leading me on different levels and with all these different keys, ups and downs, and it was a lot of thoughts and feelings. And I open up. I've been working on myself for a long time, so it's quite easy for me to open up and work with me, I think. I don't know, but I think so, Susan. So in the end, when we was finished with this, how do you call that, session coaching, she gave me 2, or if it was 3 keys. This is what your unconscious mind tells you now, Josephine. And it was really good for me. For me, it was exactly what I needed. And I was ready for that. It was like, how do you say? A champagne. Like, okay, right. This is what I needed.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
That's great.
Really,
Suzanne, do you want
great.
to respond to that? Because you're
Yes,
the
I
one.
can respond to that because Josephine have shared the session. Otherwise, I don't talk about it. But I can say that the first step when we are talking about our programs, the first step is actually to find out what is our core values. And when I'm talking about core values, this is really, really the first step. You cannot find your values unconsciously if you don't have a mentor or a guide or a coach, because you consciously answer questions. So you have to go to an alternative state. It could be a trance, it could be hypnosis, it could also be coaching of the subconscious mind. And when I'm coaching the subconscious mind, she is totally awake, because it's your unconscious mind. We are talking in like not sentences, we are talking like only single words. So that's the thing, to find out what you unconsciously want. And the other way you can go around this, you can go into trance or to hypnotic state, because then you go beyond your analytical mind and your logical mind. And if you go beyond that mind, you can reprogram and redesign your brain how you want it to be. Because when you have installed the new program, you can train to use that program, because the old program is not disappearing. They are still there, but you are using the new program instead. So it's very useful to start to be aware of what we have programmed unconsciously, because then you can make conscious decision. Okay, shall I eat this or not? What is my strategy? Is it good for me or not? Shall I so it's very important to look at the person. What strategy do she or he use, and use the same to success?
Yeah.
So it's many steps. It's not only to program or reprogram. You need to find out what is your strategy and what is your programming you are running. So you have to, we are talking about deleting program, or delete limiting beliefs, or delete obstacles, or delete things. But actually we are not deleting them. We are putting a new one.
It's sort of overriding it.
Yeah.
It's like when you had those old cassette tapes in the old days, for those no, that you actually record. You're sort of rewriting the tape, the recording.
Yeah.
But it's
and
still,
actually not rewriting either. It's actually, now we have two, so you can choose between which of them do you want to use. So it's very, it can be that you are going back to the old one if you are in a certain triggers, if we haven't delete the triggers, because if you are triggered of something, you can go back to an old program very quickly.
I have, thank you. I'm just because I've done some training in NLP as well, and neuro linguistic programming. And talking about that, there was this lady that had a trauma. She came from a previous war environment, so she'd gone through war. So for her, New Year's Eve in Sweden was very traumatic, because that reminded her, or the fireworks reminded her of actually being in the war zone. And then sort of how she was helped by actually going back to rewriting that memory of the so it was a post-traumatic syndrome, obviously, with being from a war zone. So go back with hypnosis to rewrite that memory from and actually put another trigger on that, so you can actually work with that, and so you sort of move back and forwards in time, because the brain doesn't work. It's not a linear time, is it?
No. And that is very important when you are talking about NLP, because there are many methods, strategies, how you can change your thinking, and there are several methods, but you need to combine them, because if some method don't work, you take another one and you combine them, because there are so many good tools. Because our brain, when you do one thing once, it could be installed like a trigger, but sometimes you need to repeat it over and over again until you have a new trigger. So they are so hard to say how you delete or reprogram or redesign your brain. We are unique individuals, and we are not the same, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Suzanne. I know, Lucy, you've got some experiences with NLP as well, haven't you? You did some, just when we're getting to that, because that's a lot about programming and how you can work with the programming in the mind and do you have anything that you want to share?
Yes, it's very interesting to listening to Suzanne, and thank you, Josephine, for sharing your coaching session. I think it's like Suzanne was saying, we are very different individuals, and the way we were brought up, because at the age of 7, then we are no longer after a 7, we're no longer free to create our own way of living. That's when the society helps us to form who we are and what we are. And what I find myself challenging is the awareness.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I know that I am programmed? Our society is very each culture has their own way of believing and has their own way of resisting to talk about these things. The way we raised ourselves, raised our children, very conscious and very nurturing, not to let in other influences. So that's a challenge with coaching of the subconscious mind and working with reprogramming and putting these memories in boxes in the mental rooms, so that it's there, they won't disappear, but when something triggers, it will come again. But having that awareness, when they come back, you're aware, then you know what to do. You know what to do. No, don't come here. You stay there and take the new program. So this is the awareness at first. I find it challenging is how do I know I am programmed? And then the awareness to do something about it. I realize at a moment, okay, what do I do? And then you continue. When you do that work, you don't do it once. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to do it continuously. And the most important is someone to help, like Susanne was talking about, someone to guide. But the challenge with all of us as different individuals, we have our own strong will to say that, no, I am right. And that is also the fight inside our heads and in our programs. The new program and the old program, they fight a lot.
Yeah.
And then that comes the awareness in, to build that awareness on how to know and know about it.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm thinking about this with how stress affects our ability to be to do exactly what you're doing. When we're very stressed, we've got an impaired frontal cortex, which means that we will have a problem in actually sort of catching that wrong program when it comes. So we can get triggered and carried away in by things that we actually reprogram the other program because we're too stressed to actually to hold our guard. The awareness is sort of impaired. That's something that I experience when I've gone through periods of when it's when I'm very stressed, because then it's a tunnel vision. You can't really sort of, those other things just sort of you can't. It's a bit like going to the gym. I mean, if you've done a long session or a period of time where you haven't done any weights, it's hard to lift those weights. So if you've let yourself being affected by stress or other factors in your life, that will affect your ability to be aware and sort of remove those programs. Does that make sense?
Actually, it makes sense, Jessica. And Lucy, you said how to know how we are programmed. Actually, to be aware of that is to notice yourself for a week or for a day. What thoughts do I have? Write your thinking down. And what emotions do I have? What feelings do I have? And write them down. And then, why do I feel like this? Why do I think like this? Why? Because then you see your program. Is it okay? Is it a good program? Or is it a program you want to change? When you are aware of your program, you can start to think of, okay, how do I want to react? If you have a trigger, because we have emotions and our feelings, they happens in a split second, and we can't change that, because the emotions are there to protect us. They are there to say something's wrong. I'm sad, I'm angry, whatever it is. They are to protect us. That's the soul function. But after that, you can say to yourself, okay, I don't want to react on this any longer. then you have a choice to calm down or to get angry or to be stressed. So if you are reacting in a trigger, that's normal. The thing is, how do you bounce back in a state of calmness, maybe not reacting, not judging, not feeling sad or angry? That's the thing. And that you can train not to reacting. And the recipe is to meditate.
Yeah.
Because when you meditate, when you do meditation, you practice your brain not to react on your thoughts. They are passing like clouds in the sky. That's the same thing when the triggers is triggering you. You react and then you choose how to respond. So it depends on how quick you bounce back. For example, if you have an adversity and it's very hard for you, maybe you are sad for a week. When you have trained this, then you maybe are sad only for a couple of days. And then when you have been sad for a couple of days, maybe it's only a couple of hours. So that's training you have to do. And be kind to yourself, because we are human, so we are feeling feelings and emotions. So but we can train how to master our thoughts, to master our emotions, and that's only with training.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely, Susanne. May I really like how you explained that. That's great. May I give you guys an example? So that's happened recently when we talk about reacting, responding, and bouncing back. On this week, I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday. I'm not really exactly. But anyhow, I went to my office at the office hotel where different companies have their office there. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, they serve breakfast. And so I went and joined in for breakfast. So I was the first one to dish my breakfast, and I went and sit at a table. And there were 3 long tables in the dining room. So I sat in the middle table, this long table. So I was thinking, okay, I'm new. I just said hi and picked my breakfast. So I don't know, I didn't know any of them. So I went and sit down. So I'm thinking, okay, these people, they will come and sit with me to fill a table before they sit in the other tables. So I sat there, and people are starting to sit down. They sit on this table on my left and that table on my right. When everyone was seated, I was alone in the middle of that table. And my head was spinning, okay, how do I handle this situation? Normally, I would feel rejected, and I would just get up and go. I would get angry and not saying anything. So when everyone was seated, I got up and refilled my coffee. I came back and said, excuse me, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Lucy Larsson, and I am new here. Today is my first day, and I am a career coach. I'm doing this and this and this and that. And it's really nice to see you all, but I want to share with you an experience that happened just now. So I was telling them how it is. It's our behavior that we are so used to it. We are so afraid. We are so safe with the people that we know. We don't even lift our eyes and our souls and our hearts and look around us. Who is here? And then we talk about inclusion and diversity a lot in everywhere, but we don't do it. So it's a habit. It's an attitude. It's a behavior that we are so used to it. So that's what I share. And I thank you, Susanne. I want to lift it up. It's the way you respond, is not the way you react. So that's my story about this reprogramming.
Thank you, Lucy, for sharing. That was amazing. So amazing.
Yeah, that was just amazing. I really so proud of you, Lucy. That's, I think, more people I mean, that's how we should, because like you said, there was no harm. They didn't mean anything bad by doing it. They were just running their program. That's what they do. So they couldn't do better. So,
And
so
you did excellent. You did
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes, and I'm proud of me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not reacting.
Yes, took action. Yeah.
So, yeah, Josephine, please continue. You've got-
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy for your sharing to take action. I was thinking about it's one thing about myself to understand, to handle my triggers, my feelings, to understand why am I doing this, and write it down exactly what Susanne told us. That's one part. That's the basic part. And the next part is also to understand people around us.
Yeah.
To learn to understand why they are reacting to me on different levels and with different feelings.
Yeah.
And another day, I have a situation at my son's school. I got a few emails about situations, and I emailed back clearly, without feelings, clearly from my side. And I met this wonderful teacher, and she asked me, do you like the email I emailed you? And I said, yeah, thank you. It was the first time you emailed me in this situation, and I'm really happy for that. She was starting to talk about her feelings, how she felt, and what she saw in me when I talked to her. And I didn't went into her feelings, her energy, because it was really strong. It's stressful in school right now. So I've been learning to don't go into other people's, how do you say that, energy, to fall down by myself. I can see them, I can feel them, I can be with them, I can hold them and follow them and coach them and so on, but not let her energy close me down. And I said, I understand you and I see you, but do you have children? Yeah, I have 3. Okay, then you understand me fully. Yes, she said.
Yeah.
So it was just a little sharing about to don't go into other people's feelings, what it triggers on and so on.
Yeah, that's great. I think I was actually talking to 2 of my partners. So I run a business with 2 other people, and we had a meeting yesterday, and we went down to the local mall. At lunchtime, we were going to have something to eat. And we just talked about how other people reacted. It was someone that actually bumped into the other one of my colleagues, and the reaction from the other person was, "Oh my God, just don't walk in my way." And it's like, my God, what was the problem? Why did that person react in that way? And my colleague, she just said that, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to." Then we just talked about that. Why are people in general quite often quite upset, angry, and just sort of mind your own business? This is my spot. Just do your thing and don't come in my way. It's just sort of, I think that around in society we meet people that are quite reactive and quite aggravated, aggressive. When you accidentally sort of, I mean, if you live in a town, in a city, I mean, there will be people around, so you can't really sort of have your space and no one will intrude into your space, and sort of, and it was just sort of a reflection on that talk about reaction. And I just wonder about this, because I like to when I meet people, I try to say hello. That's one thing. I lived in New Zealand for a long time. Even though Auckland in New Zealand is a fairly big city, people say hello to each other, even though you don't know them. That's just part of their, they think that they're living in a small country village. That's just a nice thing. People say hello and how you doing, good morning, hello. and people are friendly, they're opening the door and things like that. But I find that here in Stockholm, it's just not like that at all. And maybe that's because they've got, I don't know, I was just saying, I was thinking about.
Yes, yes, there is an answer actually.
Yeah.
People who are aggressive or reactive or explosive are people who are not living their true purpose. People are not aligned with themselves. They are not living in harmony. They are not living their passion. They are doing something they don't like to do, or in an environment they don't like to be in, or maybe they are in a relationship they don't want to be in, or something like that. So it's actually about them. It's not about you. So
Yeah.
it's very important to know when someone is aggressive to you or do something rude to you. Only have compassion, because they are people who are not living their true purpose, actually.
Yeah, and yes, I totally thank you for that. And I think as well, I was just thinking about maybe that they also have some memories that they bring with them that they actually have.
It doesn't have to be a memory. It could be they have gone through trauma, which have affected them as child or in an adult situation. They are maybe currently living in a trauma or something, loss of a loved one, or divorce, or it could be anything. It could be a disease, it could be something. And when you are having kind of situation right now, or have before, they are picking a strategy. So if they have gone through something long time ago, they have picked a strategy to survive. So there is actually a survival mode. They are living in survival mode. So the only thing they can do is to be aware of they don't want to live in that mode any longer. And then they can reprogram their subconscious mind to live in another way, a new program, and then they got a new personality.
Yeah, so that would be a personal transformation.
Yeah, exactly. Because when we think something and when we feel something, we go into a behavior. And when we have that behavior a long time, then the behavior will be your personality.
Yeah.
So
I
when
love
you
that, Susanne.
transform, you will get a new personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. It's a beautiful link to. I'm sure you're aware of the different stages of transformation. When you get a realization, aha moment, and then you do something. Oh, and you release it, and then you rebound and reinvent yourself and look for all these tools, and then you continue the journey. Working on yourself and to change your behavior and how you respond.
But
And then
it's
you think,
all
okay, what do I do?
it's often sadly to say, you have to go through something bad before before you want to transform. Because if you don't have gone through anything, you are comfortable living in a comfortable zone. You don't want to transform because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's what a lot of people are doing, isn't it? They choose the comfortable life because it's too painful to change, or too much. I mean, too hard to change. But if you're already gone through a difficult time, a period in your life, so you've already gone through that. So you sort of you're on a roll. You're basically, if I've done this, I can transform even more. If I've done this, I can change this as well. So what's the problem?
The life is not hard enough to change, but you come to a point that you don't want to live in that state any longer. Then you take responsibility to change, because it's only your responsibility to change. you cannot say to someone, you have to change. It's your responsibility to take action and do the work, because you have to do it by your own. You cannot say to someone, go to the gym for me, please, and make muscles. You cannot do that in transformation either. You have to do the work.
Yeah.
Lovely. Can I say something here?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Susan, you say something really, really good, and I love that. And I just want to say that to take this responsibility and take these actions to step forward and just transform and do what I need to do to change my life, to change relationships, works, whatever I need to change and heal and so on, is so important. And what I want to say is, this place, this community, Strive, is for me the perfect place for me to grow, to really step in and have this energy to grow even more and more and more. Perfect for me. I just want to share that, because it really have been a lot for me. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Josephine. I think that's the thing, because I think what we can agree on, that personal change, development, transformation. I mean, we all do our own work. We all have our own journeys, and we all have to face our demons or whatever we're going through, and meet our light and our whatever we believe in. But in the end, we need to, because I mean, we're our humans. We have to be together. We're a people, a tribe. We need to find our tribe, where we can find a safe zone, a safe place to share and grow, where there's no judgment, and you know that we're going to be there for each other, to sort of support each other. And I think that's the thing, because I mean, I can't sort of do your transformation, Josephine or Susanne or Lucy. I can only work with my transformation and my personal development, but you can be there for me as the support when I need it to create that safe place, which is beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely. What a lovely discussion tonight.
Yeah.
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 Like always, I want to say, Lucy, it's so heart-centered, and it's just really, it's for real, it's authentic, and it's just comes from a place of love.
It's really beautiful. I just have to say that when you go inside within, and when you grow and transform and step forward by yourself, you can help other people to grow even more, because when you live your truth and are free in your mind and really know your way, it's more easy, even more easy, to help other people to go out there and growth in their nature way.
I'm watching a documentary on Netflix. It's Life After Death. It's a very interesting documentary with a lot of experiences, people that went through trauma and adversity in their lives, and they transform and they reprogram themselves, and a lot of amazing stories and challenging experience. But in the end, they all talk about healing and working on themselves and confronting their fears and reaching out in communities. They find communities, their tribes, to grow and grieve and get that love that they need to heal. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. And whoever is watching, check it out. It's on Netflix. It's very an open. It's a awakening. It's open-minded. It gives you a whole another perspective in life.
It's to remember, when you go to an old self to a new self, you become someone else, because it's biological, it's chemical, it's neurological. You become someone new.
And that could cause some challenges in your life if you're in a relationship, if you've got friends and family that do not change. That's something that I've experienced in my life. I've done a huge transformation the last sort of 5-10 years, 5 years at least. And I've got some people that sort of they're no longer there because I've changed too much.
Yeah.
So we sort of there's no the fit is not there anymore. And I think that's a natural part of life, but it's quite a tough experience once it happens.
Yes, but that's people around you. Think about when you can't predict your own future. You are in the unknown. You cannot predict, and people want to predict their future.
Yeah.
They want to see what you create. And I said the best way is to create your new future.
Yeah. And then you attract the people in your life that you need to have there on your journey that sort of are on the same path, I think, as you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you create your new future, it's a sample of how you can live in the future when you start to visualize.
Yeah.
And you condition yourself, and the emotions you are feeling is elevated in your body then, and you are happier.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Suzanne. We're about to close this off for tonight. Josephine, just one final sentence, word, whatever, something to send off on this Friday night.
To send off on this Friday night, yeah. When you feel you need to grow, when you feel this is not me, I need to reprogramming. If you can do it by yourself, but you really know in your heart, I need to do it, take contact with someone to help you. Take action now. That's my message.
Thank you, Josephine.
Thank you.
Lucy, do you have something that you want to sort of send out to this Friday night?
Yes, I did a transformation.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's part of transformation. You transform everything. But what I want to send with you is this: when it comes to transformation, a personal transformation, and reprogramming yourself and the whole of you, don't listen to anyone.
Yeah.
That's my advice. Don't listen to anyone. That's my experience from my journey now since last year. There's a lot of people that are telling me this and advising and giving me. It's great. I appreciate them. I'm grateful for that. But I learned I cannot take what everyone is saying. I go into myself and I listen. And I listen to myself. I train to listen to myself. And then I have all these advices around me. I just pick them. But listen to yourself. Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Lucy. And that's what I want to say as well. I think that we all have our purpose, a bit like what Suzanne said as well. We have our purpose. It's a reason why we are here. And go out and find that and do what you're best at. Be you, because don't be a copy. And that's exactly what you say, Lucy. Be you, because that's the only one you can be. And be proud being you, because you're unique and we're all unique. And just shine that, I think. So that's what I want to say, and say happy Friday and weekend. Just be you.
Suzanne, did you say your takeaway or your send off?
That was my send off.
Suzanne,
you.
I mean.
Huh?
Suzanne.
Yeah, she had. I thought that was. Did you want to add one, Suzanne? Sorry.
I can give you, for example, it's a myth that you need to work hard. Only do what you love to do. Live your passion, because there is where the magic happens.
That's perfect. Wow.
Lovely.
All right. So just say happy Friday, and thank you so much for spending this time together. And I hope that you're out there that's been listening to our conversations and sort of found some value.
Yes. Thank you, ladies, and cheers to everyone.
Drive on.
Okay.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.